Hello, my fellow YouTubers, and welcome to Random Thoughts from me, Ted Bear. YouTube videos have had an unexpected benefit for me, who needs to keep my blood pressure under control, but still needs to express how I feel about certain topics. So when I run into a group that upsets me, and they want to open up that can of worms that is my opinion, I can merely hand them my YouTube business card and tell them to look up the video where I take some time, gather my thoughts, and express myself, which is actually why this video has taken about 3 weeks off and on to write and now actually record. But today, I put all that effort into answering an excellent question. Why don't I like politicians? Now, Arvy Archer, well, you know him best as the drill instructor from Full Metal Jacket. Now, he really framed the positive side of how I feel about politicians. I do not look down on Democrats, Republicans, Tea Party, or Independents. To me, you are all equally worthless. You are all unorganized pieces of it. Okay. As you probably have guessed, I really don't have a lot of nice things to say about the profession of politics. The people themselves might be okay, but what they do for a living, I'm going to leave it at that. One of the cases in point. Now, I was helping my mom. She's setting up a business where she makes, very nice, see, handmade jewelry. You know, you can change the pendants, and you know, that's just one of the necklaces, and necklaces, rings, dangles, you know, lots of different stuff. Check her out on Facebook, Debbie's Crafty Den. But I was helping her with our first outing, trying to drum up interest. It was the Burleson Founders Day Festival, and while I was helping, we were watching the news, and the first Ebola patient died. Tragic, very. But this guy, running for Senate, was standing there, talking the blame game, and was blatantly trying to use this tragedy to catapult him into the political spotlight. Sometimes I lack the words to express how I'm feeling, and you know, and as you probably have noticed throughout my videos, that I tend to turn to TVs and movies to kind of help me express what's really an emotional issue. The last 2 movies with a political theme that I've actually been able to watch and actually enjoy was The American President with Michael Douglas and Annette Bening. The second was Dave with Kevin Kline and Sigourney Weaver. I did watch Swing Vote, but only because I was going to get laid. But that movie made me ill. Now, back to Dave. Now, Kevin Kline plays he plays an impersonator who's impersonating the president, President Mitchell, who we learn he's actually a jerk. But Kevin Kline's not. Watch the movie, you'll understand. Now, President Mitchell, Kevin Kline, is addressing a joint session of Congress and a paraphrased version of Kevin Kline's whole truth speech would kind of explain why I'm disappointed in politicians in general. You see, I forgot I was elected to do a job for you. It was a temp job at that. I forgot that I had 250 million people who paid me to make their life better, and I didn't live up to my part of the bargain. You see, there are certain things you should expect from your officials. I ought to care more about you than I do me. I ought to care more about what's right than what's popular. I should be willing to give this whole thing up. And if I'm not, maybe I don't belong here in the first place. My disappointment comes down to belief and perceptions. Are these words even a concept in the mind of the present-day elected official, with the timing of political scandals, the pulling of teeth to get things done? Given the 2 weeks of panic attacks when the government shut down last year, I'm living on disability. The thoughts of being evicted because the government's not going. Political ads that promise the world, of course, demonizing the competition. Although people with power will do anything to keep it. To give you some idea of where my belief is. My belief is somewhere between the Easter Bunny and the Great Green Archelseeker from Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. That leads me to perception. And I can sum that up in one word. Gojira! Scared you, didn't I? Now, massive monsters fighting amongst themselves, not aware of what they're crushing, until a building falls on them, bringing them eye to eye with the humans they are hurting. If you saw the 2014 remake, you know the scene I'm talking about. Now, coming back to what I said at the beginning, when I was talking about the beginning of the video, now I saw 2 political booths at the Founders Day Festival, and now it's well within my rights as an American and as a human being to let the people who, through their actions or lack thereof, make my life harder, to let them have it with both barrels. What stops me is the fact of the price I end up paying for lashing out at my fellow humans. Now, I would talk about how people are unwilling to see others as equals or even as basic human beings, but that's a video for another day. To put it shortly, it hurts me, physically and mentally, if I lash out. But since I can't keep things all bottled up, that's kind of how I got into this mess in the first place. Here's my card. And this has been Random Thoughts from me, O. Ted Bear. I hope I made some sense. And as always, I just hope I helped.